Monday Night Raw. Did it suck or was it better tonight? Hell, was anything better on this show than what we saw last Friday from Blood Money 3? After watching tonight's show, you know what? I'm going to go on a limb and say it was actually pretty decent. Don't get me wrong, there was still a lot of bullshit in this show. I'm not going to sit here and give Raw a pass at the same time, but not a bad crowd, especially in San Jose, California tonight, and some actually good stuff going on. Yeah, there's still a lot of crap going on here and there, but pretty decent show on some levels. Actually, some good matches here and there. I may question the booking on some things, of course, but not bad. Not a lot of bad matches, but to be honest, it's been a very long week, and I feel of wrestling just all over the place. I've just got reviews going back and forth. Of course, if you want to check out my Dominion review, I just got that put up yesterday or last night. So please check out my New Japan Pro Wrestling, Dominion review. Very great show. Of course, G1 announcements, Jericho, Omega, Naito, and Ibushi, Ospreay, and Dragon Lee. There's a lot to say from that, but go check out the review if you want to know more about that. Also, my review of Blood Money 3, or the Super Showdown, or, like I said, with Blood Money, how I like to call it is, what do I have to say about Blood Money, huh? There's something that can really be said about Blood Money. It is this with Blood Money. Blood money, blood money, blood money. Blood money. I like doing that. Money. Okay. I like doing that now. That's pretty funny if you ask me. I find that hilarious. But blood money. You know the song, the game. I'm not gonna go into all that right now, but you all know this has to do with the show, not anything else. Okay, just to make that very clear, this has to do with the blood money of the WWE accepting from Saudi Arabia. Blood money. That's so funny. You can remix that to anything. I may come up with something different next time for that. But yeah, check out my Blood Money 3 review of all the crap that was going on that show. And looks like more people are just pissed off about that show. Undertaker's pissed at Goldberg, or people just pissed at the show in general, or how hot it was in the ring, or many things that was wrong with this crap fest of a show from last Friday. The best in the world. But moving on. Monday Night Raw. Where do we begin, huh? We begin the show off with Seth Rollins coming out with a chair, the same chair that he beat the living crap out of with Brock Lesnar last Friday, as the crowd was hyped for Seth Rollins. Yes, as he had that same chair, Seth Rollins came out. He said he felt that he's alive right now. He's it's the era of the new Universal Champion. It's 2019. It's the year of choice. So everybody in the locker room has a choice right now. That, you come out, attempt to out-wrestle me. And, there's not a person alive on the planet that can out-wrestle him right now. I'm sure there's many people, but that can give him a run for his money. But he said, you could also fight him and try to take the title from me, or you could try to do it the hard way, just like Brock Lesnar did. And look how that turned out. Since he had the whole dented-up chair, he said Brock Lesnar has been with the WWE since 2002, even though he disappeared for a amount of several years. And pretty much no one has done to Lesnar than what he did to him at Super Showdown. That's probably debatable. Yes, you beat the living crap out with a chair, but I think I may have to go back and look up to see how many worse beatings Lesnar has had in the past than from Seth Rollins. But he said it felt good to beat the living crap out of Brock Lesnar with a chair repeatedly. And as Seth Rollins kept speaking, of course, Baron Corbin comes out. He is pretty much booed pretty much as soon as he comes out there. As he waited for the crowd, the fans chanted, "You suck" at him. And he says, "Are we done? Can I finish, please?" And pretty much when he tried to talk, the fans booed him more than they did. And Corbin said he walked to the streets of San Jose, and and he's the best thing that's going on. And that Rollins says, you want to talk about Lesnar and everything, you need to be more worried about me, okay? Because you could worry about him later, but you need to worry about me at Stomping Grounds. Corbin pretty much says, I didn't beat you on Friday, but that was because of the referee that cost them the match, John Cone. And he pretty much says he's had meetings with officials all day, so they're going to let him get a special guest referee at Stomping Grounds. Sami Zayn pretty much came out there and said, I'm with Team Corbin, as, Rollins, we've known each other for a long time. But, being a Universal Champion is not good for Seth Rollins, pretty much. He said him and Lesnar are caught up in a swirl of toxic masculinity. I've heard that word a lot lately, to be honest, about toxic masculinity. But I've mostly heard it in a bad way. And I don't know. I know I heard it not that long ago. But I think whoever was trying to explain it, I thought it was a bunch of bullshit. And I've heard it multiple times lately around, especially in the news too. But I'm not going to get into the whole toxic masculinity thing. I just heard there's a lot of bullshit though behind it. And I probably don't like it. But Zayn pretty much, I don't know. That's heard a lot about. But Zayn pretty much said that, he feels that Rollins would be better off with the Universal title and that Corbin could be the champion. And Zayn pretty much says we have a champion who isn't obsessed with Brock Lesnar. As Rollins pretty much wonder, what's in it for you, huh? Why are you even a part of this? As he told Sami Zayn. And pretty much said that Sami said that Corbin understands what he's doing. And, just gotta get a favor in return for for helping him and stuff. As Rollins pretty much says, you're the idiot that's going to listen to him, alright? So, since you're going to listen to him, how about I come up there and slap the taste out of your mouth? Next thing you know, Kevin Owens is out here saying he's got his back. And he's agreed with the assessment that Corbin will be better off as the Universal Champion. And that Owens, he didn't like what Seth was saying. But pretty much says, I'm here because of the wild card, okay? Well, whatever that means, pretty much. Or he doesn't know. Nobody knows this wild card thing at this point. It's ridiculous, okay? And he says, I will take up your offer and come to that ring and face you. As Ron says, how about this? You come face me in the main event tonight. Which he pretty much brought the chair with him up to the stage and looked at all three of them before he walked off. So, yes, they get to hype up a main event with Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens then. So, I guess they have Corbin having backup right now from these two, even though I feel like I see more of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn losing matches nowadays. Didn't they just lose a tag match last week? Or was it the week before that? No, I think it was last week. Yeah, they lost a tag match last week, and Sammy took the pin. So, it's almost like, why is Kevin Owens here? But like I said, it's wild card, so there you go. But yes, they got to build up into this match with, But yes, they got to build this one way into another. So, that was going to be the main event tonight. Next, a rematch from Saudi Arabia that made no sense from last Friday. The Lucha House Party, well, pretty much only difference was elimination this time, but Lucha House Party versus, supposed racist here, Lars Sullivan, as everyone's saying nowadays, which is true anyways, but, first off, why does this match need to happen again? And then again, why didn't you, here's the thing I didn't get about this match. I will say this. Did they actually make Sullivan look like some sort of a badass out here? Yes. Did he kill the Lucha House Party very fast? Yes, because he took out Kalisto first with the freak accident, and then Dorado was right after, and then he, with the sit-down powerbomb, and then pretty much Grand Metalik, which, he threw Kalisto into the steel steps, through the piñatas, and threw Dorado into the post, and, he kept pinning Metalik, but he kept pulling him back up at one point, because he didn't want to finish the match until he hit the top rope, headbutt then for the win. So that went about 3 minutes. But here's the thing I don't get. What was the point of doing a DQ finish last Friday when you could have just done this to begin with? Like I said, you could have done this match on Raw and could have been past this, okay? Why was this even a feud? But like I said, all right, why was this a feud? And what's even stranger, as some people said before, why would you make this a feud anyways after the whole racist comments came out that he talked bad about Mexicans too? So it didn't make a lot of sense about that. But you could have did a squash match probably 3-4 weeks ago on Raw and move past this and go on. Or you could just done it last Friday, because why do a DQ finish? Why keep building this up? Why now all of a sudden you do an elimination match? Now you want to make Lars Sullivan look like a monster. I feel like it's too late, but the crowd actually reacted and they gave him some heat. So what was the point of doing this match to begin with again? But yeah, there was no sense of doing this match again. So yeah, squash match, there you go. Lucha House Party, I don't even know where they go on after this. I don't even know why this was even a feud to begin with now, but I don't know what they're doing anyways also. But next, pretty much right after that, we go to this week with the 24/7 title with R-Truth and Carmella, as they were running away from the usual people that chase them around. And they kept trying to get into an elevator, but they had to wait outside because Truth kept saying, y'all ain't got a referee, you can't do nothing. So when they got into the elevator, pretty much him, Carmella, who else was on this elevator with him? Yeah, who else was on there? EC3 was there, I know that. Cedric Alexander, Rockstar Spud, and Heath Slater. They were all on the elevator then. Pretty much soon as they got on the elevator, there was a camera hearing them talk the whole time. You're going to see a lot about that throughout the entire night, which was actually pretty funny at some points. By the way, EC3 now walks around with a red Solo cup. I know I've been seeing a video on the internet all day about how he once was in NXT to what he is now, that he just looks depressed and looks like he just doesn't want to be there and miserable, which is a lot of people in this company right now. But some people believe this is a gimmick. I do not get the red cup he's carrying around. I don't even know what he's drinking in it, but that must be part of his gimmick. So I don't know. They pretty much then went to this interview with Lacey Evans and Becky Lynch, because I know they had it for a commercial, and they had Seth stand, which they are just implying. What they just keep putting out there, like, okay, Seth, he's with Becky. We already know that. It's like they keep. It looked like I've noticed that a few weeks now. It's like you keep putting them on camera together. Okay, it's like, dude, we know that already. We know he's hitting that. Good for him. It's just not, for some reason I feel like it's sooner or later they're going to be in a tag match against somebody. I don't know why. I just feel like that's gonna happen. But pretty much they interviewed both Lacey Evans and Becky Lynch. Pretty much they had split screen. And pretty much Becky Lynch says, hey, I forced you to tap out of Money in the Bank. So when you look at it, why am I even facing you again? Then again, why is Lacey Evans getting another title shot? She lost. She lost the Money in the Bank, and Becky just said it. And that, yes, Lacey Evans is bigger and stronger and everything, but I can't let you beat me and become the champion, okay? I can't let you take something I worked really, really hard at. Yes, as pretty much Becky also said that, you cost me my title, well, the SmackDown title also, and that Evans, pretty much said that Becky reeks of fear, and that, she will become Becky No Belts at Stomping Grounds, pretty much. So they gotta hype that up one way or another with this split screen. But yeah, pretty much interview, split screen. Like I said before, why is this girl getting a title shot? I do not know, but that's the agenda they're pushing. I'm getting into more of the dumb stuff they did later on, because they even had Alexa Bliss pretty much telling Nikki Cross, since they had their thing this week, about how she is the #1 contender for the SmackDown title. Makes no sense since she's on Raw. And she pretty much said that, Bayley is a master manipulator, and that Bayley pretty much lets fans letting fans see what they want her to see. And that, pretty much saying that Bayley was mean to her when they first started in NXT, and what she was like down there. And pretty much Nikki Cross says that, she understands what it's like to be an outsider looking in. As Bliss said, you're gonna be in my corner though, right? As pretty much Nikki Cross agreed to. I still don't know where they're going with this oddball team, but sooner or later they're gonna have Bliss screw over Nikki Cross, or because she was too naive and trusted her, and Bliss used her the whole time. Watch that happen. It's gonna go down. Next thing you know, they have The Miz come out for his Miz TV, as his guest was Samoa Joe. This is pretty much first on the show, as Joe came out with Miz for Miz TV as they talked about what happened with the U.S. title the week before of Mysterio relinquishing it. But Joe pretty much says, I gotta correct you. I'm not the new champion. I never lost the champion, okay? As Miz pretty much said that Mysterio was, honest, heartfelt, and a gentleman for what happened. But you pretty much put the coquina clutch on him and took him out. As Joe said, yep, so whatever. And then Miz said you also made threatening, threats to his son Dominic. And pretty much Miz says, as a father, you don't bring that to someone's family, because now you're just stepping over the line. As Joe says, I've crossed a lot of lines. Maybe I should be talking about your family. Next thing you know, Braun Strowman comes out then, pretty much wanting a title shot at Samoa Joe for some reason. He's the next challenger. Bobby Lashley pretty much wanted the same thing, saying he's still not done with Braun Strowman yet. Until Ricochet came out saying, I'm not the biggest guy out here, but since I got 2 wins over Cesaro, I should be the first one to get a United States title shot against Samoa Joe. I will say one thing is Bobby Lashley said that him and Joe have a lot of history together. I guess if you want to go back for the TNA days, then go from that. So just to kind of point that out there. Cesaro then was next as he pretty much looked at Ricochet and punched him. Pretty much everybody started fighting each other. Of course, ends up in the inevitable 6-man tag match, which wasn't actually a bad 6-man. Did it eat up some time? Yes. Did I think Ricochet almost kind of messed up jumping out, doing that not high side moonsault, but that dive he does on the outside ring? Cesaro a little messed up. Yeah. This was not a bad match, though. I'm not hating on it. It ate up time. Cesaro did like 26 swings on the Miz that looked pretty cool, and the crowd was with this match, okay? But I'm sure everybody's kind of talking about what happened at the end. Of course, Samoa Joe pretty much left as he dodged Braun Strowman's power slam and walked off with the title. Cesaro was pretty much one of the only ones left still out there. Excuse me. Cesaro was pretty much the only one still out there left with Bobby Lashley. He got Skull Crusher finale, and then pretty much next thing you know, Ricochet did a 630 on Cesaro, and he did win the match. But if you go back and look at it, Cesaro was holding his leg or his knee, it looked like, and he had to get help to the back right after. I know that wasn't shown on TV, but I don't know if Cesaro was hurt or not, but it looked like he did look like he was in legitimate pain, the way he was just clutching his knee, holding on to it. I don't know if anything broke. I don't know. Hopefully the guy is okay. But that, when you got to go back and look at it in slow motion, Ricochet looked like he pretty much did land on his leg right there. But you just go back and look at the clip. You can kind of determine if he hit his leg, or I don't know if it was knee. Like I said, he clutched his knee, so it had to be more of his knee. I know some people are already saying it's his ankle right now, but I did kind of see the clip when security was carrying Cesaro to the back. But I'm not really sure. Hopefully the guy is okay, though. They went to Corbin then, talking to back with Charlie Caruso, as they were talking about the special guest referee, until Sami Zayn came to talk to him. So, of course, that gives some ideas right there. Becky Lynch and Bayley, of course, the hometown girl right here from San Jose, California, going against Lacey Evans and Alexa Bliss. Number one, this match wasn't that bad, and it was like 10 minutes. But of course, I know the main concern of the problem of this entire match was the ending of it, or the booking, I should say. So let me get this straight. And I thought Bayley was actually going to get the win here, because she did dodge the Twisted Bliss and put her knees up. But Lacey Evans came back with another woman's right. So let me put this straight here. You put, first off, Bayley's on SmackDown, right? And of course, Wild Card, we got to put on Raw. And I'm not surprised that they lost, because they love to have everyone in their hometown lose all the time. So that's no surprise there. But the thing is this. You have someone that's fighting for a different championship, the Raw one, Lacey Evans, pin someone from another show that is the champion. Now, you could have had Bliss, pin Bayley. My friend told me this tonight on Snapchat and everything, but, why didn't you just do that? Or not? In my opinion, you couldn't have not pulled any other faces to tag with Becky, so they could have took the L. You could have done that, because who else is sitting around there in the back you could have put on TV? And why do you have your champion from a whole different show lose on this show to a person that's not even competing for that title, but competing for the other title, as the number one contender competing for that title is not even the one to pin her, to at least do something? But they probably would have thought that would have given away already as a 50-50 booking thing in a way, and Bayley would have gotten the win by at the pay-per-view and stuff. But I find it very strange that they have Evans pin the person that's not even facing the person at the pay-per-view. Think about that, okay? But the match wasn't bad though, but that was just strange to me. Next, they had Sami Zayn talked to Shane McMahon backstage about being a special guest referee. Paul Heyman came out then. Well, he's already in the ring, as he talked about he was disturbed, about the animosity and hostility between Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins, and pretty much that Lesnar did that cash in his Money in the Bank contract last week, even though he said he was going to. But then he talked about the beating that happened back last Friday at Super Showdown. And, he just said that Seth beat him and beat him and beat him with a chair. And that's the champion that you cheer for, which the people did. And Heyman pretty much said that, Rollins he's a feckless thug, pretty much. All right. So no more Mr. Nice Jew. No more Mr. Nice Beast, as Paul Heyman said. And now, you know what? We're not going to tell you when we're going to cash it in, which was dumb to begin with. We're not. We're going to make you wait. That Lesnar will do this anytime. And he used this word a lot. Insinuate. Insinuate. Remember that word. But yes, insinuate is the word that Paul Heyman used a lot. Because, he's not going to insinuate that, Brock Lesnar is here tonight. Okay? That he's not in the building, or he is in the building. And pretty much that, Lesnar, he could show up anytime. And I'm not going to, insinuate that he could be the special guest referee at Stomping Grounds. I'm not insinuating that. And pretty much Heyman says he won't insinuate that, will beat up Rollins as most vulnerable, as he's going to give him such big of a beat down that it violates the PG era of WWE. Pretty much Heyman says, I'm not going to insinuate that, Rollins will take the Lesnar will take the title from Rollins. It's not even going to be an insinuation. It's not a prediction, and it's not a spoiler, as Paul Heyman says. It is a threat. It is a promise. And it's a guarantee that Brock Lesnar will become the new Universal Champion. When that day comes, I don't know. Hopefully it's not sooner or later, but at some point in time, he will cash it in. So, a very good promo from Paul Heyman, pretty much saying that Brock could show up anytime. I don't think he's going to show up at Stomping Grounds or be no referee or anything, but sooner or later, at any time, any place, whatever pay-per-view or show, he will show up and take out Seth Rollins. So when that day comes, I don't know. We didn't go back to the elevator with Truth and the crew, as pretty much Heath Slater said, I got kids, I don't need to die in this elevator. EC3 pulled out a fork, which I guess he was going to be a cannibal now. That's new gimmick, cannibalistics. Where are we going? Is this what EC3 doing right now, pulling out forks? As Truth pretty much told him to stop that. He asked anybody if they had a phone. Spud pretty much said he's getting married a couple weeks and he can't be in here. EC3 was pissed, saying like, why wasn't I invited, since both of these guys were in TNA and they were a team. As Spud pretty much said that EC3 is the best man, which both of these two are usually funny together, so that actually was pretty funny, I will say that. And then they left. Next thing you know, the Iconics come out. At this point in time, no one, listen, I wasn't really watching what the Iconics were saying. They said something about San Jose and the Stanley Cup thing. Personally, I was watching the Square Enix press conference on E3, which I'm sure the big games everyone's talking about right now is the Final Fantasy remake. I forget what number. It's VII, so I'm not good with Roman numerals. And the debut of the new Avengers game that was debuted at the, unveiled at the Square Enix E3 press conference. I already question the models as they look already. It's no gameplay yet, but it's just a trailer. But a lot of people have been excited about that all day. I just kind of question the character models and maybe a little bit of voice cast too, just because they just look kind of odd. You think they would have looked like the ones from the movies and everything, but not. Hopefully they don't look like more of those ones that they had in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Because those were some pretty bad models. But listen, I didn't really care what the Iconics were doing. Would they go against some jobbers? What, Lisa, Blason, Aaliyah, Nia? Why did Sasha and Bailey drop the belts to these idiots again? Tell me why. There's no point. It really isn't. I'm surprised they're even still. But they got nobody to face this thing. Even though Asuka and Kairi Sane are hiding somewhere on SmackDown, the Kabuki Warriors. well, why is this even still a thing? Why are these two the tag champs? There was no point in this. Listen, if you wasn't really paying attention to the second hour of Raw, you didn't miss much. Personally, go back and look at the Square Enix press conference. Personally, go back and watch all three E3 and watch all the other press conference. Come on, Nintendo's tomorrow and they got a new Smash Brothers character coming for DLC. Just know I'm gonna be glued to that tomorrow morning. Microsoft had a great press conference. It's gonna be a new Xbox coming in soon. Bethesda was pretty good. I saw Ubisoft today, even though I'm still a little pissed off that there was no new Splinter Cell involved, or nothing much about Beyond Good and Evil 2. So I will say I was kind of waiting for those two, but it was a lot about The Division and Rainbow Six, though, and some other things made by Ubisoft. So still wasn't bad. I will say there was no Sony press conference this year, but to what I'm hearing, it's supposed to be a PlayStation 5 next year or something like that. So we didn't really get Sony press conference this year. Would have happened on this day, by the way, too. And I would have been watching that more than I was watching Raw, because I'm going to be paying more attention to what Sony and PlayStation got going on. But since that was not a thing this year, for whatever reason it was, I'm sure there's still going to be a lot of games. But that's enough about E3. But that's how much I did not really care about going in this show, because I was more focused on E3 tonight. Other than Iconics beating some job team, who cares? Moving on. We then went back to the Best in the World party, the Shane celebration, as they did an interview from Roman Reigns back at Super Showdown on Friday, saying that Drew was involved. He's gonna take him out at Stomping Grounds. McIntyre came out with, of course, the bagpipes, the band, which I've seen him several times at TakeOver at WrestleMania. And Shane McMahon, of course, his Best in the World entrance, as Shane, had some champagne in the ring, the Best in the World trophy, and that Roman Reigns has done it. He's beat Hall of Famers and everything. He's beaten The Undertaker. He's beaten Brock Lesnar, but he could not beat me, as because he kind of went through Roman's accomplishments. He's won the Rumbles and Mania, headlined and everything, but Shane said he's the best in the world, and he was prepared for strategy and sound. People started chanting boring, but fans said get used to it, because this is my celebration, and it's going to go down all night. McIntyre pretty much says it's a great celebration, and that people in San Jose have no respect. As McIntyre pretty much says, he looked at Reigns as the measuring stick of the WWE, but now he is going to lose, and that, Shane beat him on Friday, but he says he's going to maim, hurt, and annihilate him at Stomping Grounds, and that he owes Reigns, it'll be a physical assault on him, that he will be unrecognizable then. But as Shane said it was time to celebrate, they poured some champagne into that trophy and drank from it. Pretty much going to celebrate all night long. But then he brought out the Revival, who wanted some champagne also. But he said, hey, I'm doing you guys a favor tonight, okay? You guys come back with some gold, and we'll talk about what's going on, since they got a tag title shot tonight against the Usos and Hawkins and Ryder, who I forgot these two were even the champions. What they wanted at WrestleMania a couple months ago. Showed up on Raw like 2-3 times. Lost to the War Raiders, Viking Raiders, whatever they call it. By the way, they've disappeared too, and they're even on TV. But now they finally just happen to come back on TV and have a title shot. Of course, these two guys come out to their WWE 2K19 jobber music, which it sounds horrible, okay? And they somehow some matching gear. Dude, I forgot these two were even the champions until last Friday. When I saw them in that Battle Royale, that's how I remember these two were still the Raw Tag Champions. Which, this match was not bad, I will say that. But it ended up with the Revival winning, since, Usos was going on a super kick party then. One of them hit the splash, but pretty much Dawson pulled him away, as Dash Wilder got the pin, which now the Revival become 2-time champions. I'm not mad at that in a way. First off, Hawkins and Ryder did nothing. That was just for WrestleMania, and they were from New York. That's pretty much the only reason why they won the title, so I kind of figured this was going to go anywhere. Oh, yeah, the 203-something day losing streak. Who cares? So, I don't know. Maybe the Revival and the Usos will now be in a feud for these tag titles. Hopefully, it doesn't get too silly. Or if they move on after that, there's many teams, if they even show up on TV nowadays. We know it. Authors of Pain are back, I guess, since they happen to be at the Saudi show on Friday. So, I guess we know the other one is clear now. Viking Raiders, if they ever show up, and the Usos, or whoever else is a tag team that will challenge the Revival. But I have no problem with them becoming the tag team champions, because, dude, Hawkins and Ryder are job guys. Who cares, okay? This match was kind of random anyways, but the crowd liked it. They then went back to EC3 saying he's been married 5 times, back in the elevator. Which, we all got a lot in common, as Truth said, said we're family, and, Truth kept calling him Hornswoggle, which I thought that was pretty funny, a spud there, but he said he wasn't. But as they continued to talk and play with the hat, trying to talk here and there, because, Truth's afraid of, blondes and spiders or something, he said, the doors finally opened. They all tried to fight each other to get that title, which ended up with Truth and Carmella putting Truth back into the elevator as they all tried to get in with the referee, but it closed, and once again R-Truth escapes again with the 24/7 title. I'm sure people are gonna say this was stupid and there was no business of having this on Monday Night Raw, but at least in my opinion, I thought some of the parts were somewhat a bit funny, so I did not hate it. Some of it was actually pretty funny. Not bad, just because what half the people were saying in the elevators was pretty true. I don't think Cedric Alexander belongs in this whole thing, but hey, they got him in there, and Bobby Roode and Eric Younger. So let me get this straight too, by the way. When they got trapped in the elevator, that was almost 2 hours ago on this show. You telling me that Titus O'Neil and Eric Young and Bobby Roode stood in front of that elevator for almost 2 hours, just standing there waiting for it to open? That's what they done the whole night, huh? They stood there in that spot all night trying to break the elevator down, and you finally got it open. Think about that for a second. Time for the Firefly Funhouse. As you know, pretty much as Bray Wyatt said, konnichiwa to everybody. The homeboy, Ramblin' Rabbit, was back, man. I like that guy. That guy has potential. Pretty much fighting off Mercy the Buzzard as he was trying to, hey, what's up, Bray? Mercy tried to eat me again, man. As Wyatt pretty much said, state your case, and, can't eat your friends, man. As, listen, you go get your time to talk, okay? Because they went to that demon thing, and as, the Rabbit and Mercy were kind of shaking. Mercy looked like he learned his lesson. Then after that, he gave Ramblin' Rabbit the floor, as the Rabbit was about to talk, like, man, some strange thing going on in this house, man. I'm going to tell y'all what's going on here, man. I'm going to tell y'all what's going on. Next thing you know, Wyatt has that clown nose on, and I guess some type of paint on his eyes, and he killed the Ramblin' Rabbit. He beat him with a giant hammer, which blood spread it then, and he licked up his organs, or which was supposed to be blood. So y'all killed my boy, man. What's up with that, man? You go kill the rabbit? That's the homie, man. That dude is funny. I like that guy. You killed the Ramblin' Rabbit. What's up with that? 2 times. They'll be alive next week. Which pretty much then after that, this episode is brought to you by Ramblin' Rabbit's breakfast spread. So pretty much then after that, I guess he used his blood to make some type of jam, which I guess you could spread toast in early in the morning if you're looking for some breakfast food. So Ramblin' Rabbit, man, he may taste good too. Killed him. Tastes good. Maybe he'll be cloned next week. He'll be back alive. So another good Wyatt segment, but we've been doing this for almost 6-7 weeks now. I do want to see more puppet Vince McMahon. No, that's actually pretty funny with the horns. But still, when's this guy wrestling again? We've been doing this for a minute. So can he kind of do something in the ring now? These are fun and all. And I enjoyed them and they're pretty funny. But when's he wrestling though? Seriously. Next, Seth Rollins went against Kevin Owens in the main event, as Sami Zayn was the special guest ringside referee. As he had to check Seth Rollins first. This match wasn't bad or anything. Of course, Sami got involved several times, especially when Seth was about to win. But, he was going to jump off the top rope and do something. But once again, Zayn got involved. He ended up throwing both of them out. Suicide dive on Sami Zayn. Seth pretty much knocked down Owens. Ended up pinning him with a curb stomped in after that, but once again Sami Zayn pulled him out of the ring. Seth got pissed and he grabbed, pretty much attacked Sami Zayn. They kind of brawled for a minute. Corbin came out with a chair and tried to attack Seth Rollins. Like I said, it was a disqualification, but as Corbin got a chair, was about to hit him with, Seth ended up super kicking Corbin in the gut, taking the chair from him, trying to hit Corbin with it, but he ended up beating the crap out of Sami Zayn with it, and beating up Sami Zayn with it, and as he was on the outside of the ring, he pulled him back in, pulled off his referee shirt, curb stomped him, and pretty much looked at Corbin, pretty much says, this is you next, okay? So they still got to hype up more into this pay-per-view stomping grounds with the waiter here and Seth Rollins. I don't know why they keep having Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn just look like fall guys most of the time, but that's kind of what they're going on at this point, it looks like. So I still don't really want to see this matchup. First off, we already saw this match at Super Showdown. But hey, he gets another title shot against the Waiter again at Stomping Grounds. But I don't know, man. It could have been a little bit more with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Not Sami Zayn, but Seth Rollins. But I don't know what happens next. I believe these two will be back on SmackDown tomorrow anyways to face the New Day. So they got to go back to doing that. So there you go. But, you know, overall, Monday Night Raw, I thought Monday Night Raw was up at least somewhat pretty decent in my opinion. Just looking at from the Firefly Funhouse. I actually thought the 24/7 stuff was somewhat funny. I like the 6-man tag and couple other matches here and there. I question the booking of it, but at least I did like some of the matches to what I saw, which wasn't bad. So yeah, but you know, some stuff like Super Showdown rematches, like Sullivan and Lucha House Party, you could have done that many weeks ago. The random tag title change, I'm not mad at it all the way, but I forgot Hawkins and Ryder was still the tag team champions, really. Shane Celebration, I'm sure people got tired of that. I thought it was funny though. Iconics, I don't care. I was watching E3, so I think I made the right choice. Paul Heyman's promo was pretty good. Bailey losing her hometown again. What do I expect? Come on, you're in your hometown, you're gonna lose, so that's why. But like I said, Raw was decent. I thought San Jose was a really good crowd, and they were into the show and what they liked. I've seen worse out of the past few weeks, but this one was actually pretty decent in my opinion. Now that the ratings go up, I don't know. And if the ratings go down, I'm sure people are already going to blame the NBA playoffs from tonight and say, oh, that's why the ratings are low. Trust me, I see that almost every year now. The NBA playoffs, that's why the ratings suck on Raw. So everyone's going to say that. Maybe they're going to say E3 was the reason why people didn't watch Raw. Hey, I was watching E3 during Raw, okay? And I was paying more attention to E3. Come on, I'm ready to see Nintendo's press conference tomorrow, okay? So there you go. But I'm sure people are going to find many ways to blame why the ratings went down. I don't know what they are until probably tomorrow or later this week with the ratings, but we shall see. But I personally thought this was decent. Don't get me wrong, Raw's bad. It's garbage as usual. But this one was in the middle, I thought. Okay? There was still its bad parts, like I said in the beginning of the video, but you had its good a little in too. So it was like a good, bad mixture of things. What happens on SmackDown tomorrow night? I don't know. But that's my review for Monday Night Raw. I'm out of here. I'm going to see you guys later. Comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought about this show. Check out any other review. Check out my Dominion review. And check out my Blood Money 3 review. Or Super Showdown or whatever review. Okay? However you want to go it. And check out my Impact review also. But I am done with this episode of Monday Night Raw tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night on SmackDown. And see what goes from there. But yeah, if you want to check out Raw, check out some parts. I'll tell you that. But I'm out of here. I will see you guys later. Peace out. We'll see you next time.